Hi, hello, friends and strangers. Welcome back to Shenanigans. And today I'm going to be briefly talking about a book that I've read recently, and it's Song of the Mango and Other New Myths by Vida Cruz. First of all, I would like to thank the author and the publisher Ateneo University Press for sharing with me an advanced reader's copy of this book. This short story collection's official launch was last December 10, and off the bat, when I finished a few chapters of this book, I thought to myself, this kind of reminds me of Black Mirror, but make it, Filipino myths and folklore. And that's what made this collection so intriguing and interesting for me. Each story has a different format and unique writing style, but somehow, when you look at it as a whole, it is still cohesive and consistent and still seemed like they were written by the same person. I'll have to admit, though, that the writing of one or two stories didn't work for me, and it felt like I was just powering through so I could get to the next story. But overall, the rest of the stories were really, really good. Now, I'm going to be talking about the stories that really made a mark and really resonated with me. While it was said that the titular story of this book is The Song of the Mango, it wasn't my favorite though. I loved that a few chapters after that, I got a continuation story called Voices in the Air. So this stories had a very interesting take on the legend of the mango tree, wherein it deals with love, heartbreak, loss, and the courage to go on living. One of the unique stories in this collection is In the Shadow of the Typhoon, which tells the story of Maria Cacao along with her husband and her team helping the survivors of Typhoon Yolanda. I like this story because of how it reflects and talks about humans and their beliefs and their apprehensions towards mythical beings who simply want to help them. A really good quote from this story is, "Humans believe more strongly than any other human being on this earth, and yet you cannot even believe in yourselves long enough to get your act together." Another story that I really liked was Blushing Blue, which puts a very unique spin on the art of tattooing that brings tattoos into lifelike apparitions. So this story really reminded me of that one episode in Black Mirror where the woman lost her boyfriend, and this covered this AI technology that could bring him back, flesh and bones. It could be jarring as an audience, but it's totally understandable because people have different ways, albeit not always positive, ways of coping and dealing with grief. So the family in Blushing Blue deals with the aftermath of the storm that ravaged their town and took the mom. Then the next story that I loved is Ink, a love story where hopeful writers went to a mangkukulam's shop in Divisoria and bought ink bottles to help solve their problems. So the basic plot of this story also reminded me of a Black Mirror episode, because when these two writers wrote their character studies, the characters came to life. As in, these characters could function like a human being based on how they were written by these two authors. So similarly, this also doesn't end well for the writers, but I won't spoil anything. I just found it really interesting. The next story that I also really liked was a sci-fi short story set in the future where Old Manila has been decongested and climate change was reversed. And Filipinos can be sent to Pluto to study, research, and interact with other species, aka the rhyme folk. That's why the story is called Call of the Rhyme Folk. I like the idea of futuristic and high-tech Manila since it is imagined that climate change has been reversed, and we all like that. The story deals with love, acceptance, and what it takes to fulfill one's dreams, even at the expense of one's relationship. And lastly, the story that I also really loved and really resonated with me is the Diwata-owned cafe, which was written as an article about Maria Makiling's Heartbreak Cafe. So this cafe specializes in breakup food. Breakup food in the sense that people come to the cafe so their heartaches can be harvested and used as an ingredient in the food being served in the cafe. So the people who eat the food get to momentarily experience grief, anger, and sadness of whom these feelings were harvested from. It helps people to no longer feel these awful emotions, but on the other hand, it's like a form of escapism because you don't face those negative feelings head on and try to get over them. So I get both of those points being made in the story. There were people opposing the idea of the Diwata-owned cafe, and then there were people who, go to the cafe to ease their feelings. I also like the part where martial law and Duterte's drug war victims were among those who sought to be helped by the cafe and by Maria Makiling. It just gives more nuance to the type of heartbreak that visits the cafe aside from, relationship heartbreaks or when you lose a family member, etc. A very nice quote that I got from this story is, "What my cafe does is take the burden of experience from those who find it too heavy to bear, and give those who have no idea what it's like and who are perhaps too quick to judge a little taste of it." And that's it for my quick overview of Song of the Mango and Other Myths. I gave this anthology 4 stars and would recommend it to friends, especially Filipino readers looking for a new and unique spin on Filipino myths and folklore. And if you are interested to read Song of the Mango and Other New Myths by Vida, Cruz, Borja, it is available over at Ateneo de Manila University Press. I will be putting the link in the description below so you can check that out. And that's it, friends and strangers. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you on, hopefully, my 2022 wrapped videos. I just haven't gotten the energy and the time to really sit down and work on it, but I will definitely get on that soon. And I will see you on my next video. Bye bye.